Hey everyone, welcome back to USA Benefits Update, your go-to source for the latest news on government benefits, stimulus updates, and everything you need to know about your money. And before we dive in, I need to ask, have you seen the headlines? Claiming that Trump's $2,000 stimulus checks are officially approved and arriving soon. Yeah, those stories are going viral, and it's easy to see why everyone wants extra money in their bank account. But today, I'm here to give you the full truth. Break down the facts. And make sure you know exactly what's real and what's just a rumor spreading online. So let's get into it. The claim that millions of Americans are about to receive 2,000 checks is false. Right now, there is no approved law authorizing these payments. There's no IRS schedule, and the IRS is not sending out checks. Well, if you've seen videos, posts, or even social media ads claiming otherwise, stay cautious. Because this is exactly the kind of story scammers love to exploit. We'll get into that in a bit, but first, let's understand where this rumor actually came from. The origin of this $2,000 check. Story traces back to something called a tariff dividend proposal that President Trump mentioned during his time in office. Essentially, the idea was that Americans could receive direct payments funded by revenue collected from tariff taxes on imported goods. Sounds appealing, right? A direct deposit of money, funded by international trade policies. But here's where things get tricky. This was never a formal law. It was a proposal. Proposals don't automatically translate into cash in your bank account. Now, let's break down the three major obstacles this proposal would face if anyone were seriously trying to make it happen today. The first is Congress. The U.S. Constitution gives Congress the power of the purse, meaning any direct payments to Americans require a formal act of Congress. That hasn't happened. No legislation has been passed that authorizes $2,000 checks, funded by tariffs, and until it does, there's absolutely no legal mechanism for the IRS to start sending money. The second obstacle is math and, yes, I mean actual numbers. Even if Congress wanted to approve this, the cost of sending $2,000 checks to millions of Americans would be astronomical. The proposed funding from tariff revenue simply does not cover the cost. It's a classic math problem that doesn't add up. Millions of Americans multiplied by $2,000 per person creates a number far greater than the projected tariff revenue. This isn't a political argument, it's basic arithmetic. And until the numbers make sense, this proposal is not feasible. The third major obstacle is the Supreme Court. There is currently a pending case that could impact the very tariff revenue the proposal relies on. If the court rules against the current tariff structure, the revenue intended to fund these checks could vanish overnight. So even if Congress miraculously passed the law today, the money might not exist tomorrow. This adds another layer of uncertainty. And it's why experts consistently warn Americans not to believe rumors of imminent payments. Now, here's something that's important. Whenever stories like this go viral, scammers move fast. There are already social media posts, text messages, and emails claiming you can sign up for your $2,000 check. These are scams. They are designed to steal your personal information or your money. If you see anything online asking for your social security number, bank account, or personal details to receive your $2,000, do not click, do not respond, and report it immediately. The only official source for stimulus updates and IRS notices is IRS.gov. Bookmark that site, trust it, and only use information coming directly from there. I know this might be frustrating to hear, especially if you were hoping for extra cash. The idea of $2,000 stimulus checks sounds simple. Money in your account, bills paid, a little relief. But unfortunately, good intentions do not override legal and financial realities.
Understanding the process can protect you from disappointment.
Protect you from scammers too. So, let's recap what we've learned so far. First, the $2,000 checks are not official. There's no schedule, and the IRS is not sending them out. Second, the proposal that sparked the rumors comes from Trump's tariff dividend plan, which remains unfunded, unapproved, and uncertain. Third, even if someone tried to make it happen, there are three major hurdles. Congress hasn't acted, the numbers don't work, and the Supreme Court case could eliminate the funding entirely. And finally, scams are already circulating, so you need to stay alert and always verify through official channels now. I want to address a question I see a lot in the comments and social media posts. But didn't Trump sign something or hint that it would happen? The answer is yes. There were hints, proposals, and suggestions, but hints do not equal law. Presidential statements alone cannot authorize direct payments. Only Congress can pass a law, and only the IRS can implement it. So even enthusiastic supporters or political commentators talking about $2,000 checks do not change the fact. The checks are not coming, at least not under this proposal. Another point worth discussing is the timing. Even if Congress decided to act tomorrow, creating a law and allocating funds takes time. Then the IRS would need to design, test, and implement the payment system. It's weeks or even months of work, not an instant deposit. So when you see checks arriving soon headlines, ask yourself, do they really understand the process? Or are they just trying to grab clicks and attention? For those of you wondering about eligibility, amounts, or past stimulus payments, it's crucial to know that any new stimulus checks would follow strict IRS guidelines. It would likely be targeted based on income, filing status, and dependents, just like previous payments. So even if a future law ever passed, not everyone would automatically get $2,000. It's a common misconception that these checks would be a free-for-all for every American. Let's also talk about why these rumors spread so quickly. $2,000 figure is emotionally appealing. People want it, so naturally posts, memes, and videos claiming the checks are coming are shared rapidly. Unfortunately, viral content is not the same as verified news. As responsible viewers, it's our job to pause, check the facts, and look for confirmation from trusted sources again. It's like IRS.gov or official government press releases. I also want to briefly address another angle. Could Trump, or any politician, try to push this through without Congress? The short answer, no. Constitution and federal law make it clear that spending taxpayer money requires congressional approval, even if the president wanted to declare an emergency or use executive power. There's no legal authority to simply authorize $2,000 payments from tariff revenue alone. So any claim suggesting otherwise is factually incorrect. Now, as a viewer, you might be asking, okay, if these checks aren't coming, is there anything else I can expect? The answer is yes, but not from this proposal. Keep an eye on official legislation, IRS updates, and state-level assistance programs. While many states offer programs that can provide relief during economic hardships. In federal programs like unemployment benefits, Social Security, or tax credits continue to operate as usual. These are real, actionable sources of support, like viral rumors promising instant cash. It's also worth mentioning that financial scams often peek around these kinds of rumors. Scammers know people are excited about the possibility of $2,000 checks, so they send phishing emails, fake payment links, and malicious social media ads. If you ever get a message asking you to enter banking info or social security numbers, treat it as a scam. The IRS will never ask for your banking details via email or social media. Remember that. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few takeaways. Check the source. Always verify information through IRS.gov or other official government websites. Ignore viral headlines that claim checks are arriving tomorrow. They're misleading. Never share personal information with unverified sources. Understand the process. Congress must approve, numbers must add up, and legal challenges must be resolved before any payments are possible. The $2,000 check story is a perfect example of how hope and rumors collide online. People want to believe it, and unfortunately, misinformation spreads faster than reality. But knowing the facts helps you make smart decisions, stay safe, and avoid falling into traps set by scammers.
So, in conclusion, while it would be amazing
to see $2,000 checks landing in accounts across the country, the current reality is very different. There is no approved law, no IRS schedule, and no checks being sent. The story originated from a tariff dividend proposal, which faces major legal and financial hurdles. And anyone promising checks right now is either misinformed or trying to scam you. Stick to official sources, be cautious online, and remember, that the IRS is the only authority on payments like this. Thank you for staying with me through this video. If you found this information helpful and want to stay updated on all official USA Benefits news, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Benefits Update, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. I promise to keep bringing you the facts, the truth, and the updates you can actually rely on. And that's it for today. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. See you in the next update, and thanks for watching. USA Benefits Update.